Hello everyone, this is Tormuse, and today I'm going to be playing Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. That's the first official content released for DDLC in the last almost 4 years. It's much anticipated, so this will be my first time looking at it. I've been trying to avoid spoilers. So yeah, let's get into that, I guess. Yeah, and in previous streams that I've done, I've had the game windowed, and so I could see the chat on the side, and it's not letting me do that, or at least when I try to switch to windowed, it's the same size. So I don't know. I'm gonna have trouble following chat this time. There's probably ways around that. I think there's a way to make the chat like a overlay or pop up or something, but whatever. Anyway. Let's start with the warnings. Actually, yeah, one warning I'm going to give up front is that this video, I expect anyone watching my channel at this point is already very familiar with the original game, so I'm going to spoil the heck out of it. So if you don't want the original game spoiled, don't watch this Let's Play series, I guess. I don't know, either download it yourself, it's free download, or I mean, like the original game. DDLC Plus is paid content, but yeah. Anyway, yeah. Splash warning screen. Here we go. This game is not suitable for children or those who are easily disturbed. Individuals suffering from anxiety or depression may not have a positive experience playing this game. Would you like to review detailed content warnings which contain spoilers? Alternatively, in-game content warnings can be enabled in the settings menu at any time. Cool. This is different. They have. I might as well, like I said up front, I'm gonna give spoilers. So yeah, let's look at the content warnings. Thank you for your interest in Doki Doki Literature Club. Doki Doki Literature Club is a horror game. Please do not take this lightly. Doki Doki Literature Club may not be suitable for you if you are affected by any of the following themes: depression, suicide, self-harm, abuse. These themes are not merely suggested, but are often portrayed as realistically as possible, and thus may disturb you if they were real. Furthermore, the above list is not 100% exhaustive. If you would like to be warned when potentially sensitive content is about to occur while playing the game, detailed content warnings can be enabled in the settings menu. Hey, that's neat. That's a new thing. For those with extra concern for their mental health, our recommendation of the safest approach is to avoid playing Doki Doki Literature Club. We trust that given your understanding of your own mental health, you are able to make a decision that is right for you. Thank you for your consideration and for staying safe. By playing Doki Doki Literature Club, you agree that you have noted the game's age rating in your region and you consent to your exposure of highly disturbing content. I agree. Yeah, I suspect they were they're being a little more thorough. I mean, they've always been pretty thorough about the warnings. Like, it's in the splash screen, it's in the first run, it's on all the promotional material. It says contains disturbing content. I think they're being extra cautious about it in light of a couple of years ago there was that story about the kid who killed himself after playing DDLC. Which, I mean, I think the media overblew that, but still, content warnings should be taken seriously, Somebody rightfully called me out on my own content warnings, by the way. I made a DDLC mod, which, in addition to all the warnings, self-harm and suicide and blah, 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 at the bottom I wrote premarital hand-holding, which is a joke, and someone said that's, it's wasn't in very good taste, and fair point. I mean, content warnings are an accessibility thing. It's they don't mean, oh, you can't play the game if you're affected by these things. And oh, hey, Haley and Slender are here. Hey, welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining me as I'm going into DDLC Plus. Yeah, I'm gonna have trouble following the chat because, as I said, because this thing is only allowing full screen. I'm gonna try to duck out to look at the chat from time to time, but I am going to have trouble following it. So yeah, there's probably a way around that. Like I said, it probably I can probably I don't know, so have some way of having it like an overlay on the screen. I know there are ways around it. I just wanted to get into it. Maybe I'll sort that out for the next session. But for now, I hope you'll forgive me for not ignoring the chat. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, as I was saying, yeah, content warnings. They're an accessibility thing. And they don't necessarily mean, oh, you can't play this if you're affected by these. It just means that if you're affected by these, please be careful. Be aware that this might affect you and be safe. Approach it when you're in a state of mind where you're ready for it. So anyway, yeah. So what I'm trying to say is putting jokes in the content warnings. It sends the message that they aren't serious, and people know to take it seriously. So anyway, yeah, serious content warnings done with. I agree. Here we go. Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. Team Salvato and Serenity Forge. Huh. This game is not suitable for children or those who are easily disturbed. Okay, so far menu looks like identical except for this says exit DDLC instead. New things. Yeah, I can enable content warnings. I think I'm going to leave that off because, again, I think everyone playing this or everyone watching this is already familiar with DDLC. I'm going to turn the text speed up because that's how I roll. Everything else, whatever, is fine, I think. Ooh, you know what? Maybe if I turn down the resolution... I wonder if I turn down the resolution and then do that. There we go. Now I can have the game on the screen and the chat at the same time. What with this warning? Do you see always do that? Yeah. 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 It was the BBC thing. That you're right. Anyway, so oh whoops, I just shrank this thing and then I just shrank. Let's bring that back. There we go. I accidentally spoiled my thing that I had here. I made a little "be right back" sign just in case I have to step away from the computer for a bit. I thought just that to be cute. Anyway. Yeah. Oh, there are only 6 pages of save games. Oh. Why'd that stutter there? Was that my software? Was that YouTube? What was that? I don't know. Anyway, let's start a new game. Here we go. I'm going to be Tormuse. Oh. Pushing enter doesn't go into it? I have... Oh, it needs me to click OK. Alright. Oh yeah, that's 110% better. Is it better? Okay, cool. Yeah, let me know if I need to adjust anything, like sound volume or anything. The music might be a bit loud. I'm just going to turn that down a little bit. That is on behalf of our graphic media. Okay. Isn't my imagination was the text size a little smaller? Is there an option for text size? Yeah, whatever. Hey! I see an annoying girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself being today, but just kind of works because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she'd oversleep more and more frequently and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me. Your face cam froze? Oh, is it working now? Trying to, hold on, let me just, Why is YouTube acting up here? Okay, whatever, sorry, I'm getting distracted. Okay, alright, let's get back to it. I overslept again, but I caught you this time. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. You say that like you were thinking about ignoring me. That's mean, Tormuse. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Fine, fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean if you want, even if you want to. Whatever you say, Sayori. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As they draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. Their new DDLC Plus has these issues? What issues? Is it, what was it? Like, was it stuttering or something? Oh, Air YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Oh. Yeah, that's the other thing. DDLC Plus has, it uses different software. It doesn't use RenPy, so it might be more processor intensive. And my computer, frankly, sucks. It's just me, or does the sprites look a lot better than before? Could be. Oh, this is a lot of very subtle differences. The smaller text is the most glaring thing. But yeah, they did update the art. Everything's higher resolution. So me downgrading the resolution probably actually makes it worse. I don't know. But yeah, my computer's kind of really chugging to play this properly. Is my webcam image like? Is it frozen? Oh, it really is frozen. What if I turn it off and turn it on again? Hold on. Hope I don't regret this. Video capture device. No. Oh great. Why? It's like a widescreen version. Darn it. Sorry. Bear with me. I can fix that. Right click properties, come back. Resolution. I had this all set up before. Trace default. How did I do this before? Shoot. The webcam image is taking up more of the screen than I wanted to. Is it still frozen over there? Like, it looks like it's still moving on my end. Sorry about this. I wanted to get this sorted before I started. Why isn't it letting me adjust? Maybe it doesn't like me adjusting the resolution of the webcam image in the middle of streaming. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out later. Apologies. Okay, whatever. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Tormuse, have you decided on a club to join yet? Yeah, now that you mention it, I think, yeah, the sprite does look crisper, doesn't it? A club? I told you already, I'm really not interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. That's not true. You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. Uh-huh. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know. And I know you're happy now, but I die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world. Of course, NEET being not in education, employment, or training. Basically, you're just saying you'll be a bum. One of the terms I learned from this game. Anyway. You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. Alright. I'll look at the few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay! Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. Guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. Yeah, I'm expecting that this game it's mostly going to be, it's just going to be the original game. At some point, I'm expecting new content. It may be that I have to go through the whole game before it shows the new content, but they're supposedly, at the very least, they're like six new side stories, plus new art. So we'll see. School day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. Guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Hello? Sayori. Sayori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. Look around and realize that I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you were just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me if it's going to make you late for your own club. If it is not used to the real world, it's the reason why you exist in the first place, Sayori. Yeah, pretty much. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, Know what? Well, that you could come to my club. Sayori, yeah? There is no way I'm going to your club. Meanie. Sayori is vice president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title of vice president. So like I said, I'm going to be commenting on spoilers for the original game from time to time. Obviously, Sayori's depressed, secretly depressed, and there are references to her picking up random projects and then dropping them later. MC brushes it off as, oh, she's just ditzy and forgetful and just drops things on the whim, but it's more like she loses all motivation because of her depression too. So this is another example of that. She's just randomly picking up literature even though she's never really been interested in it. She's trying to find something to, fill that void in her life. Anyway, moving on. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please. Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kind of told the club yesterday I would bring in a new member, and Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Oh yeah, and this is the other thing. Sayori's pretty manipulative. She's trying to trick him and guilt him into joining her club. She never, that poses Sayori's, yeah. She never, what's making the beep sound? Okay. Her waist is weirdly thin. I guess they didn't update that. What are they saying? She wanted him to join, and there's some pretty strong hints that she wanted him to join because it's, I don't know, kind of her goodbye to him. Like she's planning to off herself, and she didn't want him to leave MC like sad and alone after they've been friends for so long, and she basically wanted to get him to meet other friends. So this is her the only way she could think of to trick him into joining. Anyway, don't make promises you can't keep. You can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead or if she's so cunning as to have planned all this out. There's the foreshadowing. Yeah, she is so cunning as to have planned all this out. Since he's a dense nut man who didn't know the world was ending until sunset. Yeah, pretty much. I let it along, sigh. Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yes, let's go! And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new member is here. I told you, don't call me a new member. Eh? I glance around the room. Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always says nice things about you. Seriously? You brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Ah, Tormuse, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. All words escape me in the situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki. Humph. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes her look like a first-year student. She is also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. Oh yeah, another funny thing. Before the warnings came on the screen, before I started the stream, there was a message saying all characters depicted in this story are 18. Which, here's my emotion that's on, yeah. Yeah, it's... I mean, like, the original text of it suggests that Natsuki is younger than everyone else. There are a few lines referring to her as being younger. Yeah, I don't know. I think Dan was just said that to avoid any, I don't know, legal trouble or something. Maybe the because some of suggested that he did that with the expectation that people are going to, you know, do lewd fan art of them or something, and he doesn't want to be accused of like child pornography or anything like that. Even if he doesn't create that fan art, but you know, anyway, moving on. She's also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly into my ear and then turns back toward the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Ah, well, it's nice to meet both of you. And it sounds like you already know Monika, is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again, Tormuse. Monika smiles sweetly. There's that pose. It's just that infamous pose. Monika smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monika was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... You too, Monika. Come sit down, Tormuse. We made room for you at the table, so you can sit next to me or Monika. Legal children use 18, 16. Well, I mean, you know, different regions have different legal ages for that sort of thing. Making them 18 just covers all its bases, basically, because that's considered an adult, like pretty much everywhere. Anyway, moving on. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited. And how about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there's one space next to Monika and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Like, my first time playing this, I thought we were going to get a choice here, but it's a while before there's a first choice. Anyway, still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Whoa! Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers are drawn with icing and the little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. So cute! I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know, just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs one first, then Monika. I follow. It's delicious! Sayori talks her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. Can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like I haven't heard this somewhere before. Oh yeah, here's another thing. This line, haven't I heard this somewhere before? This just confused me the first time playing it because I'm not at all into visual novels or dating simulators or anything like that, but this is a tsundere trope. The mean cute, basically, you know, the Natsuki's she's the jerk with a heart of gold kind of thing, and but yeah, it's not the whole line. It's not like I like you or anything. Is apparently like a common tsundere line, so that's what this means. Like, it's a reference to that sort of line. But not knowing those tropes that just went over my head. Anyway, haven't I heard this somewhere before? It's not like I made them for you or anything. Yeah, I thought you technically did. Sayori said, well, maybe, but not for you, dummy. Alright. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table, carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess? Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. He's a fan of anime, but he's sort of often up to his animes. Yeah, probably. Is Yuri taller? I don't think so. She looks the same to me. Like, she's a little taller than Monika, who's close to the same height as Sayori, and they're all taller than Natsuki. That's about the same, it looks to me. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know. I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Oh hey, Kleski's joining us. Thank you for joining the stream. Gamers have not like a death run been watching ever since. Oh neat. Hey, cool. That's cool. Thanks for your patronage. I don't know. Thanks for your Thanks for joining us. I don't know. Words. Moving on. Monika raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. Oh yeah. Fair warning, Cohen McCluskey. Yeah. This is the new Doki Doki Literature Club. It's called Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. It's brand new. It contains brand new content, but my understanding is like the original game is largely like copy paste of the original game in a new engine. So it has better graphics and new art, and there are going to be new side stories and stuff. But I'm largely playing this with the assumption that anyone watching this has already played the original. So I'm going to be like spoiling the heck out of this. So fair warning. So like if you don't want spoilers, I guess just I don't know. Watch another watch a blind Let's Play or something. Anyway, moving on. Like raises an eyebrow and smiles at me. So what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seems really happy here, so... That's okay. Don't be embarrassed. I'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Were you a leader of the debate club last year? Well, you know. To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. Feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica really is a great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. Must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah! We'll do our best. You know it. We have all four of them on the screen now. Yeah, Yuri seems to be the same height. Everyone seems to be the same height. It's pretty good at capturing the look and feel of the original. I mean, aside from the text being a little smaller and the buttons a little more spaced out, everything looks pretty well the same. The way the characters fade in and out seems to be the same too. Moving on, everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they were also delighted by the idea of a new member joining, though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So, Tormuse, what kinds of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga. Mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me, and telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seemed so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped something I can relate to at the minimal level. Incidentally, this bit here made me like Yuri right away. Just talking about how much she loves fantasy and horror and stuff. And, you know, me being a literature nerd, it just appealed to me. Anyway, moving on. I desperately grasp something I can relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri, for someone as gentle as you. I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think, or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. I hate horror. Oh? Why is that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. And that's right. You usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud. Give that back. Fine. Your cupcakes, your poems, Everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sayori sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hand on her shoulders, thus launching the Sayuki subreddit. Yeah, there's surprisingly a lot of interest in the ship between Sayori and Natsuki. You'd be interested in writers like Stephen King, Shakespeare, Edgar Allan Poe. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Surprisingly follow for a ship. Anyway, moving on. I'm not cute. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess. Sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities, and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay, I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monica. Does it still say Nat and Yuri? Yeah. Somebody, I did hear from a Japanese person that it should be Natsu, or like N-A-T-S-U, because I mean, in Japanese, the letter Tsu is or the letter that's pronounced Tsu. Not that I can speak Japanese or anything. It doesn't. Nat doesn't have a translation. Basically, it should have had an SU on the end. Oh well. Anyway, I'm only drawing attention to that because that detail highlights the fact that this was made by an American person, not Japanese. Natsuri and Sayaka are the best ships. Yeah, they're also very popular ships. Yes. Anyway, moving on. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monica. Well, let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then, next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think. Plus. Sorry, it looks like YouTube is stuttering on my end. Are there any issues? Like, is this? Let me know. I don't know, in the chat or in the comments if there are any issues. Like, anything's like stuttering or anything. Which reminds me, I wonder. Like, this is my webcam image is overlapping part of the. Can I? If I move that over, then maybe it won't. Maybe it won't be. And then I can just do that. That works. That way, I'm not covering up the text. Should we go Jeffy's Rainbow? This is probably would have helped. Well, I mean, Dan Salvato. I mean, he made this by himself basically. Except for the art, he did everything. Like, he did all the writing, all the coding. He made all the music for it. Like, he made the music from scratch. He did a fantastic job of that. And he this is a free game. Like, he basically did all this for fun, you know. So, like, bring Japanese writers on board. I don't think it was. It wasn't something that was a priority for him, I guess. Anyway, moving on. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Tormuse? Mako smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Sarah may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and, I lose my train of thought. All 4 girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But I'm sorry, I thought... Toy Muse, you all... I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls, right. Okay, I decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girl's eyes light up. Yes, I'm so happy! So he wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey! You really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I'd be super pissed. Then that makes it official. Ponytails in Natsuki's face. That makes it official. Welcome to the literature club. Oh, thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Mona looks over at me once more. Tormuse, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? How would I feel the anxiety welling up inside me? Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey Tormuse, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right, Sayori and I never walk home anymore because she always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. My resolution cuteness is too much. Yay! With that, the 2 of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the 4 girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright. I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Alright, here we go. Poem writing time. It's time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good may happen with whoever likes your poem the most. And I'm going to save it here. Oh, hey, there's an autosave. That's neat. That's a new thing. Okay. All right. So I have to decide who I'm going to go after here. I kind of figure, just to give this a thorough run, I might as well try to go for the good ending, and by that I mean I need to unlock all the cutscenes. So I'm going to spend a lot of time on Act 1, which arguably is the boring part of the game. You know, people play DDLC for all the Act 2 shenanigans where things go nuts, all the horror stuff and all the meta stuff. But yeah, so I'm gonna go through these one by one. I'm gonna get all the CGs. Yeah, I'm gonna start with Sayori. So yeah, sadness. Hope. Here we go. Raindrops, or no, rain clouds is Sayori. Depression. There you go. There's rain cloud. There you go. Suicide, I think, is Yuri. Peaceful? Grief is Yuri. Bed. Yeah, she likes her bed. Family? Friends. Empty. Incidentally, there seems to be a delay between your posting and my seeing it. There's so I don't always know what you're reacting to. Yeah, there's achievement unlocked. Doki Doki Poetry Slam. that's funny. Yeah, I noticed I only have one viewer. I think you're it, Slender. I think my computer's still really chugging and struggling to play this properly. Like, it looks fine on my end, but I don't know. YouTube is throwing up error messages. I'm gonna have to check that out later. Anyway, moving on. That's a Natsuki word. Color. There we go. Joy. Dance. Jump? Oh no, that's Natsuki. Darn it. Okay. Amazing. Alone. Calm. Dark. Childhood. Clouds? That might be Natsuki. Natsuki likes simple words. Yuri likes the complicated words, and Sayori is the one that's in between. So throw one comment here. Thank you. Yeah, fun fact, the first time I played this, for some reason I thought that the three people were like Yuri, Natsuki, and Monica that I was pursuing. I thought that Sayori was the odd one out. I didn't clue into the red bow for some reason. I don't know. I was a little slow first time playing, I guess. Reading all day today and finished chapter 10. Writing all day today? Writing what? Anyway, vacation. Misfortune? No. Party. There you go. There you go. 19 out of 20 Sayori words. Not too bad. There's one Natsuki word in there. Hi again, Tormuse. Yeah, Yuri's probably going to hate this. Glad to see you didn't run away on this, haha. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the Literature Club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Tormuse. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you, making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. Sari told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year, and last year too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take it seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Tormuse always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking, like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sorry, that's because your room is so messy it's distracting, and you almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? Yeah, implying that she set her house on fire by trying to cook once. Which, I don't know, maybe that could plays into her depression as well. I mean, the feeling that she's incompetent at everything. Anyway, moving on. You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Tormuse can become good friends too. Sayori. As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation you just put me into. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know? Wait, Sayori. Eh? Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sorry, made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? Eh? I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking. Guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place, so any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. By the way, fun fact, I've mentioned this before, but like right from the first time playing this game, Yuri struck me as being autistic. I don't mean that as like belittling her or belittling autistic people at all. Like, I just a quality of her being. Like the info dumping of special interests, the playing with her hair is this kind of form of stimming, general social awkwardness. She just ticks a lot of boxes on that, and I don't know. She really appealed to me for those reasons. So just remember how I said I would make a DDLC mod eventually? It's more or less. Oh, okay. A draft of it, and when it's finished, I'll be getting it all together and making the mod from there. Hey, cool, good for you. Of course, it won't be right away. It'll be a while before I make any progress with it. Cool. Hey, good for you. Creative project like that can be a lot of fun. So yeah, enjoy it. It can be good opportunity to find ways of self-expression. I've discovered the DDLC has maybe discovered in the last 3.5 years that I really enjoy writing fiction. It can be really cathartic. Finding ways to express yourself and through fictional characters. Anyway, moving on. Any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be. All right. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it, if you wanted. How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you, I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Sari and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. Can't help but notice her intense expression like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. Man, looks like no one wants to be bothered today. I slumped down to the nearest desk. How am I supposed to occupy myself with something literature-related by myself like this? That's such a funny question to me. I mean, like from my perspective, I generally read books alone. So, like, enjoying literature by myself is kind of the default. It's just a reflection of how little LMC reads, I guess. Guess I could always read some of the book that Yuri gave me. I'm feeling a little too tired to read. I could probably fall asleep right now. Close my eyes and end up listening in on Sayre's conversation with Monica. We're probably going to seem really lame compared to all the other clubs, though. Well, we can't give up. The festival is our chance to show everyone what literature is all about. The problem is that the idea of a literature club sounds too dense and intellectual. But it's not like that at all, We just need a way of showing that to everyone. Something that speaks to their creative minds. That doesn't solve the problem, though. What do you mean? Even if we come up with the most fun thing ever, nobody will come in the first place if it's a literature event. So it's more important to figure out how to get people to show up in the first place, And after they come, we can do the thing to speak to their creative minds. What's this? Sari is taking this really seriously. It's rare to hear her deliberating like this. That's a good point. In that case, do you think food will do the trick? What kind? Well, I guess we could... Cupcakes! Good thinking. Natsuki would love to do that. You're right. Natsuki makes the best cupcakes. That works out perfectly. That wasn't why you suggested it? Cupcakes speak to my creative tummy. Your creative mind and creative tummy. And so just thinks that MC, and it is British, pretty much put my words into the majority of my personality to him. Very cool. Yeah, write what you know. That's a very good place to start. And moving on. And cupcakes it is then. I'm hungry. And Monica's just going to ignore that. Anyway, we still need to work out the details of the event itself. I find myself smiling. In the end, Sari is still her usual self, but therein lies the unexpected reason I admire her. Unlike me, who has trouble finding any motivation at all, Sari can put her mind to things and make them come to life. I suppose that's why I end up letting her get on my case about things. Can't help but wonder what it would be like to see the world through her eyes. Did it just pop on and didn't have the fade in? I opened my eyes to find Sari's face filling my vision. I nearly fell out of my chair.
Sorry. Wait, actually, I'm not sorry at all. It's your fault for sleeping like that. This isn't the napping club.
Does your school have a napping club?
You're staying up late again, aren't you? Now that you're in a club, you're gonna have less time for anime, you know. You'll need to get used to it.
Don't say that so loud. I glanced over my shoulder to see if Monica overheard. The game is peppered with references that emphasize Monica, even when he's with the other girls. Like even in that opening scene where he said, "And of course, Monica." Just try to talk her up. Anyway.
It's true, though.
Yeah, I know. You're always looking out for me, Sayori.
It's what I do best.
That's a problem. What about you? You look out for me better than you look out for yourself. You're still oversleeping every day, aren't you?
Not every day.
That's not very convincing. How many days this past week have you gotten up on time?
It's a secret.
I knew it.
Come on. At least give me the benefit of the doubt.
I can't even do that. Look, Sayori, it's written all over you. Sayori glances around at herself.
How is it written all over me?
You were clearly in a rush this morning. Look, your hair is sticking out all around here. There are my fingertips down the side of Sayori's hair trying to straighten it out. Man, you really need a brush for this.
My hair is just really hard to get right.
I won't fall for that. There's more than just your hair. Look, your bow isn't straight either. There's a toothpaste stain on your collar right here. I tried to wipe off the stain with my finger.
But nobody would ever notice that.
Of course they would. Nobody's going to tell you about it because they don't want to embarrass you. Fortunately, I really don't care about that. He's being mean.
Hey, you meanie.
And you don't even keep your blazer buttoned up. Seriously, Sayori, why do you think you don't have a boyfriend yet? Oh, how heteronormative. I guess MC isn't into shipping.
That's super mean.
It is super mean. Sorry, but you'll thank me later. I started to button her blazer from the bottom. Once you see how much better it looks, you'll change your mind. There's the first CG. Woo!
This is so funny.
What is?
Well, I was just thinking how weird it is to have a friend who does these kinds of things.
Yeah, it's a little weird, but they're kind of. Yeah, DDLC does a lot of dancing around that whole thing of like, oh, we're just friends. Oh, we're just friends. Like, they don't want to, like. His internal monologue is all like hoping to get some kind of romantic thing going on with them, but outwardly it's all, oh, we're just friends, and trying to hedge its bets and play. Oh yeah, another sign of rebuttal depression. How messy she is. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it just. It's constantly playing this weird middle ground where he's professing to want to be friends, but also putting everything in a way that's like, oh, but there's a chance to be something more or something. I don't know. It's just something I've observed about it. Anyway, moving on. Don't say that. You make me feel weird about it, stupid. He's so mean to her, like calling her dummy and stupid, and saying that he's saying these things about her because he doesn't care about embarrassing her. I've never liked the dynamic between MC and Sayori, honestly. Like, MC's kind of an asshole, and that's canon I mean, Dan Salvato himself said that MC is an asshole. He deliberately wrote him that way. That plays into things later on. And I can't right click to get out of the history screen. It's bugging me. I have to click on return. I used to be able to do that. Anyway.
It's okay, though. I'm happy we're like this. Aren't you?
I guess?
Hey, be careful. The button might come off.
Why is this one so hard to close? I struggle to fully close the button near her chest. Does this thing even fit you properly?
It did when I bought it.
If you ever buttoned it, you would have noticed sooner that it doesn't fit you anymore. What are you smiling about?
It means my boobs got bigger again.
Don't say that out loud. Anyway, you look much better now, so... why does it feel strange to see Sayori's blazer buttoned up like that?
But it's so stuffy.
Does it look strange? Can't even really see it. All I can see is this little bit of brown here, which looks like part of her vest. Is it even buttoned up? I don't know. Anyway.
It's not worth it at all.
Sayori hastily unbuttons her blazer once more.
Phew. That's so much better. This way,
Sasha doesn't have to do new art. Sayori puts her arms out and twirls around.
So if I keep it unbuttoned, then I won't get a boyfriend, right?
What kind of logic is that? Well, it's what you said, MC. Why are you saying that like it's a good thing? Well, hey, having a relationship isn't like the be all end all, like, most important thing or anything. Sorry, I just noticed that OBS is giving me errors here too. Consider turning down video settings or using a faster encoding. Oh. Yeah, YouTube, OBS, they're all like really struggling with this. Yeah, I think for the next stream I'm gonna have to like downgrade some settings or something. Yeah, also, is it my imagination? Is this off center or something? Oops. Yeah. No, it looks right. Oh well. I guess I mean, for this episode, I guess I'll continue to the end of day 2. I might as well. So I'm gonna do a bit more words in text box. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna have to mess around with my settings later because this might. Yeah. Anyway. Moving on.
Because if I had a boyfriend, then he wouldn't even let you do things like this.
There's so much presumptiveness in this. Like, again, like the idea that getting a relationship is the be all end all most important thing, and also the assumption that if she had a boyfriend that he wouldn't be okay with her having a male friend. I don't know. I'm a big fan of the idea. I think in a lot of cases friendship is more important than relationship, or at least like the romantic relationship. I mean, or at least no romantic relationship should cause you to push your friends away. Because that's a sign of a really toxic relationship. I have strong feelings about this. Because frankly, romantic relationships, they unless you get really lucky, they tend to come and go. But friendships tend to they tend to last longer. Generally speaking, I'm going to say the average person's life. Certainly in my life, anyway. I mean, I think back to, like my first few relationships. I haven't kept in touch with any of them. Not by my choice exactly. I mean, they just kind of moved on and, you know, mostly just like blocked me and stuff. I mean, you know, to each their own. I don't take it personally or anything. People just move on in life, I guess. But yeah, I have friends that I've been friends with for years or even decades. You know, like friendship is important, and it's valuable. Yeah, I just have strong feelings about that. Like that whole notion of not being allowed to do things with friends because you have because you're in a relationship. It's just it's off-putting to me. Anyway, yeah. So actually, when you'll be doing series, well, I mean, for the moment, yeah, I'm doing I'm doing Sayori, but I'm gonna reload and go back and do the others as well. Because I want to get all the CGs, see if I can go for the good ending. I'll probably do Natsuki next, and then Yuri. Save best for last. I mean, Yuri's the one that Yuri's the one that I like the best. But all Dokis are best Dokis, really. I mean, over the years, I've come to appreciate them all. Like that science capture I picked you have in Discord. Yeah, I picked that ages ago because I thought it was cute. I have to change it, I think. I think it's about time. I had it since long before even Discord was a thing. Anyway, moving on.
And you take care of me better than anyone else would anyway, so that's why I'm keeping it unbuttoned.
Stop saying all these embarrassing things.
Eh? I didn't say anything embarrassing.
Jeez. Well, anyway, just focus on trying to wake up a little earlier.
Only if you focus on going to bed earlier.
Fine. It's a deal.
Eh? I guess we really are better at taking care of each other than we are at taking care of ourselves.
Yeah, I guess so, huh?
So maybe you should come wake me up in the morning.
You're doing it again, Sayori.
Aw, but I was joking that time.
Man, it's impossible to tell with you sometimes.
Okay, everyone.
Eh? Monica suddenly calls out.
Why don't we share the poems we wrote now? Yay! Terry's, I can't wait to read yours.
Yeah, same. I feel it does sound enthusiastic, but Sayori still trots away to retrieve her poem. She trots away. It creates an image of how Sayori walks. I guess. Anyway.
By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night?
Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. Couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before.
Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait.
Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. You can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. And here we got a choice. I'm going to save it. Wink. Is my imagination, or is the text a little lower than in the original? Right, the text of the buttons. Anyway. Yeah, I guess I'll start with Sayori. Just go through these in order. I'm definitely most comfortable sharing it with Sayori first. She is my good friend, after all. Yeah, that little comment there about, she's my good friend after all. He rationalizes his choice after the fact. That's a component of... It's a component of everything that MC is in this. Hedging his bets and playing... it's more of that same thing. That's that same weird thing where he... it just feels need to rationalize everything. It's like, oh, I'm not doing this because I'm interested in her. I'm just going with her because my friend. And if you pick Natsuki, he goes like, oh, I'm picking Natsuki first because she's... I said I was interested in her poems, and if you pick Monica, he says like, oh, because she said she was interested in my poems yesterday, and if you pick Yuri, he says Yuri's probably the most experienced here. I'll bet I get a good response from her. You know, like there's just more of that rationalizing it after the fact kind of thing. Anyway, I'm rambling now. I'm gonna move on.
Oh my goodness, this is so good, Toy Muse.
Eh?
I love it. I had no idea you were such a good writer.
Siri, you must be seriously overreacting. I'm not a good writer at all. I honestly have no idea what I'm doing.
Well, maybe that's why. Because I have no idea what I like either.
Jeez. I'm sure Yuri's opinion has to be a little more constructive than this. Maybe even Natsuki's. Are you sure you don't like it just because I wrote it?
Eh? Well, I'm sure that's part of it. I think I understand you better than a lot of other people, you know. So when I read your poem, it's not just a poem. It's a Toy Muse poem, and that makes it feel extra special. Like I can feel your feelings in it.
Sayori hugs the sheet against her chest. You're so weird, Sayori.
Eh? I'm really happy that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now.
Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course. Not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise.
See? It's like I said before, Toy Muse. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people, that's something that only really good people do.
Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Yeah, more of that, the full picture of my motive. Like, that comment about his motive, like, because he wants to pursue someone romantically, but he's still, yeah, anyway. Knowing how much this means to her and all.
Yeah, and I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That would be my way of thanking you.
Alright, I'm going to hold you to that then.
Yay! Now you read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this.
Yeah, I'll see about that. Here we go. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead, help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad. I want breakfast. Yeah, so this is another hint about her depression. She has trouble getting out of bed in the morning because she can't find the motivation to do simple things. Wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. Like, you know, a hint to her future, foreshadowing of her future suicide. I want breakfast. So, yeah, that's just a reflection of her, how much she likes food. Anyway, moving on. Okay. Okay, I can't right click to make it go away. Clicking outside doesn't make it go away again. I have to hit the actual continue button, that's probably there too, as an accessibility thing, because I have a feeling it might have confused other people or something. Anyway, sorry, this is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this?
No, just a little bit.
You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question.
I forgot to do it last night.
Yeah, and that's another thing. She's probably another reflection of the depression, of the fact that she's just, having trouble finding it in her to actually just sit down and write things. Anyway. Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself.
Don't be mean. I still tried my best.
Yeah, I didn't mean to say it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? Sounds just like you.
Really?
Yeah, especially that last line.
I made eggs and toast.
Even though you were late to school, it's bad to skip breakfast and get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me.
This is so much fun. Monica's the best.
Yeah.
But next time I won't forget. I'm gonna write the best poem ever.
Well, I guess I look forward to it. What should I show my poem to next? Natsuki. She's not gonna like it. Huh? Well, it's about what I expected from someone like you. That's a little blunt. Well, excuse me, it's not like I said it was bad. Just didn't evoke any emotions. Okay. So she doesn't hate it. She's that one Natsuki word that I got was enough to get her in the like category, not the dislike category, I guess. Moving on. So basically, it's not cute enough for your taste. Do you want to get smacked? I'll pass. Well, anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it. Eagles can fly. Monkeys can climb. Crickets can leap. Horses can race. Sorry, I'm tripping over words here. Horses can race. Owls can seek. Cheetahs can run. Eagles can fly. People can try. But that's about it. Yeah. Told you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff, so people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like it when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem, seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. Sorry, there was something I was going to say. Shoot, what was it? Oh yeah. The MC's saying that he likes all the poems. It's more of that, like, hedging his bets between everything. Also, I think this is a good time to comment on the fact that when I was playing this the first time, the only reason I downloaded this game at all in the first place was because it was advertised as psychological horror. So the whole time playing it, I was like waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like, when are the horror stuff gonna come in? And I saw like Natsuki's fang, and I was like, is she gonna turn out to be a vampire or something? What? I don't know. Anyway, moving on. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah. Like, going by the original text, Natsuki is canonically the youngest one, which doesn't seem to fit with Dan Salvato saying they were all 18 after the fact. That's a bit of a retcon. That's what makes me think maybe he was trying to avoid some kind of trouble by saying they're 18. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. Don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki's feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Look at the thing she has, it's cute, yeah. And go with Yuri. And she's not gonna like it. she'll be like, I don't know. Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes, more than enough time for her to finish reading.
Oh, sorry. I forgot to start speaking.
It's fine, don't force yourself.
I'm not. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. Okay. This is your first time writing a poem, right?
Yeah. Why do you ask?
I'm just making sure. I guess that it might be after reading through it.
So it's that bad.
No. Did I just raise my voice? I'm so sorry.
Yuri buries her face in her hands. I couldn't help but notice it's been several minutes and we really haven't gotten anywhere. Might take Yuri a while to get used to new people. It's fine, I really didn't notice. What were you saying?
Right. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds a train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased, though.
Biased? How?
Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry.
It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri's apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now?
Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it.
It's an adorable smile. That's my favorite of her expressions. Yuri smiles dreamily as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which is itself kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. Yeah, and Yuri using long words for the sake of themselves, like tendrils and illuminate. Anyway, moving on.
I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting.
What? I wasn't thinking that at all.
But it took you a long time to read.
It's that after she already took several minutes to read his. Yeah. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty.
Eh? That's a relief.
Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. Blue-green hue of the features foreshadowing Sarah and Monica? Maybe. Fun fact, I've found myself writing a Psionica-centered mod. I hadn't really planned to, it's just sort of rattling around my brain and I just started writing it. I was trying to think of a name. I think I might go with turquoise. I probably shouldn't say that before I've... because turquoise is a blue-green color. I think it might make a good title. Make it stand out. Yeah. Anyway, I'm rambling. I don't think the name turquoise is taken on the mod list. We'll see. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive.
It wasn't too short. Usually they're longer poems.
Not at all.
I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild.
That's what you heard anyway? Oh, okay. You're suggesting that Dan Salvato was foreshadowing Sarah and Monica? Oh, okay, this wouldn't be in the history. Blue-green hue. But then what does the amber glow represent? What? Where'd Yuri go? I'm confused. I went to the history and, did I accidentally click something which made Yuri disappear? It's the first time sharing. I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? No, seriously, like, why is Yuri not visible? Like, right-clicking makes the text box appear and disappear. Let me see. Maybe. This eye color, maybe? That's... yeah. I mean, his eye color's never mentioned in game. That his some the popular MC sprite used in the modding community has amber colored eyes. But anyway, seriously, why is Yuri not here? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Tormuse. Seriously, why? I'm gonna reload just because I can skip through this, so it's fine. I think I must have done something that that broke it or something. I don't know. Really? So totally missed the point. Yeah, see? Now she's here. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. Like, if I go to the history and then return... Oh. Dan Salvato, I just found a bug in your program. Maybe Monica deleted her sprite. Yeah. Oh dear. A bug in DDLC Plus on release day. Well, this is awkward. Okay, what if I save it and then load it again? Will that put her back? No. Oh no. I don't want to miss out on seeing Yuri. That hesitation is a little weird. Guess you can say Yuri's history, yeah. Maybe this is a sign that I should save it more often. Anyway, moving on. But remember, the poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's nothing, really. Well, it makes me happy that you think that. Just remember that it won't be long before you pick up on these things too. Yeah, maybe you're right. Guess I'll have to keep trying. I'm counting on you. I'm gonna save it just for the heck of it. Before I accidentally break something again. Here comes Monica. Hi, Tormuse. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. There's some subtle foreshadowing there. Always listening. No, she's actually always listening, because you can see into the code of the game and always knows what's happening. I'm afraid to click on history. Something I was going to say. Is that going to make her disappear? No? Okay. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. Much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Tormuse. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know. But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I have Monica my poem. I like this one. It makes me think of something Sayori would like. Is that so? You and Sayori are really good friends, right? I wouldn't be surprised if you had those sorts of things in common. Well, maybe good friends, but Sayori and I are actually really different. Yeah. Incidentally, this is Monica being the tutorial girl. She's just there. Her role is to tell you which girl you got in the poem game, and tell you how to get whichever girl you're going for. But presented in a way that looks natural, I guess. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, Sari and I are actually really different. Well, that may be the case, but maybe there are also some similarities that you wouldn't expect. Viewing that Quiffini inspired Monica? Quiffini? I have no idea what you're referring to. The way she talks about you, it sounds like the two of you really care about each other's well-being. Even if you show it in different ways, it ends up being more similar than you think. So I think that's the kind of vibe I get when reading your poem. I'm sure you're not reading into it too much? I could be. Oh gosh, I sound like Yuri. But in any case, Sari's writing has kind of a gentle feel to it. I can tell that she likes exploring with emotions, like happiness and sadness. Who knew that someone so happy could enjoy sad things too? Yeah, that's totally unexpected. Well, to each their own. And you shouldn't be afraid to experiment a little bit either. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. Could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. And that's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased toward their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. Yeah, there you go. There's the tutorial girl there. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Two girls that are really similar. It's from an anime show. Okay, yeah, I'm not familiar with that at all. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Here we go. Hole in wall. It couldn't have been me. See the direction the spackle protrudes? A noisy neighbor? An angry boyfriend? I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind, like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retina's already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in. Which, of course, is... This is Monica realizing that she's a fictional character, and the he on the other side is referring to the player playing the game. It's all very meta and existential stuff. That's start of all that stuff. Moving on. So what do you think? And I'm just curious. If I go to history now and then return, okay, she didn't vanish. It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays, as a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. Yeah. Referring to it as freeform, I have a friend who this sort of poetry bugs her to no end. She says, like, poems are supposed to rhyme, otherwise it's not a poem. Oh well, moving on. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. And you're so shy that she vanished from the screen. I guess. Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect,
you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow.
Which is actually really good advice, by the way. Fun fact, like when I was writing my own mods, like Storm and so on, particularly Storm, I actually kept Monica's advice in mind here, and just get something down. It doesn't matter, you can tidy it up later. The first draft is meant to be messy, and I'm sort of a perfectionist at heart, so that kind of thinking, that kind of mentality does not come naturally to me, like, at all. But embracing that kind of mentality, that sort of idea, it can be very freeing. Just get something down. It doesn't even matter if you have everything planned out yet, because as I made the comment in another video, like the second draft is like the art of making it look like you knew what you were doing all along. That's your second draft is when you tie things together and clean things up, and make it so like for instance, in Doki Doki Storm, my mod that I made, the way it ended, I wasn't initially going to end it that way, but once I decided I was going to end it that way, I went back and I put foreshadowing of it elsewhere. Speaking specifically of Yuri's involvement with Natsuki, I redid all their scenes together to put subtle hints here and there about what was coming up at the end to make it fit. I'm just seeing if that is valedictorian to use Monica's speech from Mass first gratitude and dedication to her. Huh. Hey, whatever works. I wonder what. I haven't played Monica After Story in forever, so I don't know. I don't know what speech that's referring to. But I'll take your word for it. I believe you. Moving on. And that's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Phew. I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. Guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. Yeah, incidentally, one of the reasons Psionica is such a popular ship, the game is full of references to Sayori and Monica interacting. Like, here they're happily chatting. Like at the beginning of Sayori's Route, there's a scene where they're planning out the festival, and more stuff like that. Anyway, moving on. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Ah, thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. Eh? Mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple of suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Tormies did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all... Excuse me.
I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless, of course, I come across something particularly inspiring.
Yeah. Yeah, this is all, I mean, all of this is going to be vanilla dialogue, basically. I don't even know who's going to be watching this. Presumably, if anyone watches this, it's going to be for my commentary. I don't know. It's just, it's been a long time since I played the original DDLC, Like, I played it once back in, I guess it would have been the end of 2017, because is this a message? Oh, okay. Sorry, what am I saying? Yeah, it's just kind of neat to revisit the original after so long. I'm just curious. Just out of curiosity, if I hit history and come back again, wait, they're still here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to report that. I don't know how I would report that. There's got to be somewhere. I don't know. Midhost probably doesn't handle that sort of thing, but I wonder if I can report directly to the Team Salvato or what. Anyway, moving on.
Which I haven't yet. And Tormy's like my poem too, He even told me he was impressed by it.
Natsuki suddenly stands up.
Oh, I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. That's not what you just...
Yuri stands up as well.
Maybe you're just jealous that Tormy's appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours.
Ha! And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself?
Yeah,
Yuri is being rather dismissive of Natsuki here. But this is the first step in them learning to like each other or appreciate their styles better. Anyway,
I know if I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Is everyone okay?
You know what? I was the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Tormyu started showing up.
Natsuki. Natsuki, that's a little...
It doesn't involve you.
This doesn't involve you. I don't like fighting, guys.
Suddenly, both girls turned towards me as if they just noticed I was standing there.
Tormy's... She's just trying to make me look bad.
That's not true. She started it. She could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, and this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making your poems look convoluted for no reason? You mean you should jump out of the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Tormuse.
Wait. There's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Tormuse?
Well...
How did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing, but whomever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. So, of course, that's going to be... I'm going to save it again. Let's save over this one. He's saying that to Yuri sounds like someone's jealous of someone's body. Yeah, that's that's not the only instance of Natsuki expressing comments about Yuri's body. That's more fuel for the Natsuri shippers. And it's also been said that their whole argument here, it makes them sound like a married couple. But yeah, I've said for a long time. I mean, when I first found DDLC, like I saw Yuri and Natsuki as being polar opposites of each other. Yuri's the sophisticated one, and Natsuki's the simple one. And you know, Natsuki's just generally pretty rude, whereas Yuri's more polite, well, more apologetic, really. Like almost like she's afraid to take up space, so to speak. Yeah, but over time, I've grown to appreciate their similarities. Like both of them are they're pretty. They're insecure in their own ways. I mean, they express them in ways that are what am I trying to say here? They express them differently. Natsuki deals with confrontation by just getting really defensive about it, whereas Yuri tends to deal with it by withdrawing. This is a rare instance of Yuri speaking up for herself instead of withdrawing. You'll see more of the withdrawing behavior later. But yeah. Hold that thought. I'm gonna get some more water, so I'm gonna try this thing out here. Boink! Yay! I'll be right back. You like that image? I made that myself. I grabbed the chibis from the original game. Wink. Anyway. But yeah, Natsuki making comments about Yuri's body also kind of fueled the shippers. Moving on, yeah. So focusing on Sayori, so I'm gonna pick Sayori. Natsuki glares at me, drawing up any words I had in my mouth. So instead I turn to Yuri. Yuri. But Yuri's expression is so defenseless that I can't bring myself to say anything to her. Sayori. Eh? She goes the way to go, yeah. It's important to stay hydrated. Yeah, and this whole scene, no matter which option you choose, MC is very diplomatic in how he approaches everything, like phrasing everything in a way that he's not taking a side. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, everyone's fighting is making Sayori uncomfortable. How can the two of you keep fighting when you know you're making your friend feel like this? Dormuse. Well, that's her problem. This isn't about her. I agree. It's unfair for others to interject their own feelings into our conflict. right after you asked him for him to interject. Yeah, unless Sayori wants to tell Yuri what a stuck-up jerk she's being. She would never. The music started up again. It's your immaturity that's made her upset in the first place. Excuse me? Are you listening to yourself? This is exactly why nobody likes... she's about to say why nobody likes you. Stop! Natsuki, Yuri, you guys are my friends. I just want everyone to get along and be happy. My friends are wonderful people. Here's the first instance of the crying sprite. I love them because of their differences. Natsuki's poems, they're amazing because they give you so many feelings with just a few words. And Yuri's poems are amazing because they paint beautiful pictures in your head. Everyone's so talented, so why are we fighting? Oh, and that little sentence with the quotation marks is what Brit MC actually says in that draft I mentioned earlier, and obviously versus the argument. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I see. I get it. Yeah. Because. Well, also, Natsuki's cute, and there's nothing wrong with that. And Yuri's boobs are the same as they always were. Big and beautiful. I'll just talk about this. This is the third time boobs have been brought up now. Sayori. Sayori stands triumphantly. Monica stands behind her with a bewildered expression.
I make some tea.
Yuri rushes off. Natsuki sits down with a blank expression on her face, staring at nothing. So this is why Sayori is vice president, they whispered to Monica. She nods in return. Yeah, that's another, something that Dan does a lot. He, put the qualifiers, things like I whispered to Monica after the line, which, I don't know. In my opinion, I think it works better if they go before, because then people who are, streaming or doing blind recordings or whatever, they know they know how to say the line. Oh well. Dan commented on that aspect in his own stream. More about that later. Moving on. She nods in return. Why does she have an angry expression? Or vaguely angry? Oh, no, your angry eyebrows went away. To be honest, I might come off as a good leader and I can organize things, but I'm not very good with people. I couldn't even bring myself to interject. As president, that's kind of embarrassing of me. Yeah, fun fact, this is sort of what I based Monica's route in True Literature Club, my first DDLC mod, on. That whole notion that she's not very good with people. So random aside, moving on. Nah, it's not like I can blame you. I wasn't able to say anything either. Well, I guess that just means Sayori is amazing in her own ways, isn't she? You could say that. She might be an airhead, but sometimes it's weirdly suspicious that she knows exactly what she's doing. Yeah, exactly. That's another thing I sort of headcanon in there, that Sayori's smarter than she lets on. Anyway, moving on. I see. Take good care of her, okay? I'd hate to see her to get herself hurt. Is that so, Monica? This from the girl who ends up killing her later. Watch all TC. Hey, cool. I hope you enjoyed it. And moving on. That makes two of us. You can count on me. No, she can't. Monica smiles sweetly at me, causing my stomach to knot. Such a genuine person really does make a good president, regardless of what she says. Well, I could get the chance to talk to her a little more. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How'd you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it. Yeah, it was alright. Well, mostly. Tormuse, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you'll learn something from your friends, too. So your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself, I did learn a little more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. I nod to myself with newfound determination. Tormuse, ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Eh? Sayori beams at me. Truly has been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. Can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayori, about what happened earlier. Eh? What do you mean? You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often? No. That's really the first time I've seen them fight like that. I promise they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just want your opinion, that's all. I can see why they make good friends with you. Phew. You know, Tormuse, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club, but I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. And I think everyone really likes you, too. By the way, incidentally, I got into an argument with someone recently. Well, I mean, it's very public, so I might as well say his name. It's Hallie Babica in the modding community. He held up this line where she says that's really the first time I've seen them fight like that. He used that to justify claiming that it really was the first time they fought, and that they get along all the rest of the time. But okay, like we've already established, Sayori's manipulative, you know. She'll say whatever she thinks she needs to you know, to get what she wants. I mean, she's you know, like she got Natsuki to bake the cupcakes on the first day to help convince MC to join. She told everyone that he was joining before excuse me. Before she even told him to join, before he confirm anything. You know, like it's all like it's all part of her plan to guilt him into joining. You know, plus just generally the fact that she's concealed her depression from him like for her entire life. You know. She's a secretive and manipulative person, and you know, she's not entirely honest. So it is perfectly in keeping to suggest that this is a lie, and she it's not the first time they've fought, but she doesn't want MC to know that because she wants him to stay. Like, there are different interpretations of the story about what her reasoning might be. Like, like I suggested early on, it might be because she she wants to make sure MC has friends before she kills herself, because she's anticipating that she might do that soon. Or it might be that you know, maybe, you know, she just misses MC, and you know, because they had they're sort of falling out where they stopped walking to school together. However that played out, and she's such a smart cookie. Yeah. Yeah, I know, I'm not saying like a bad way when I call her manipulative or whatever. Like she just has that's her way about her. Shoot, what was I saying? Excuse me. But yeah, like my point is that whatever her reason is, like yeah, oh yeah, sorry that getting sidetracked. What I was trying to say was the other possible interpretation of her actions is that yeah, you know, she liked MC, and you know, wanted to find a clever way to get him back in her life again. You know, there are different interpretations for her reasoning for this, but the bottom line is, like, she wants him to stay in the literature club, so she's going to say anything that will help convince him to stay. You know, like, that's really the first time I've seen it like that. Like, you don't hate them, do you? Like, I promise they're both wonderful people. Like, everything she's saying is she's trying to convince him to stay. And then, phew, she's relieved when he says, you know, his usual diplomatic thing. Anyway, this is me rambling again. I'm almost at the end of the stream here. I just want to get to the poem sharing. Anyway, moving on.
And I think everyone really likes you too. That's every day is going to be so much fun.
Looks like Sari still hasn't caught on to the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? We'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. I say that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes. Okay, anyway, as opposed to your actual internal monologue. Yeah, let's do this. Here we are at the second poem. I'm gonna save it here. And yeah, so that's my first session of playing Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. So far, like, everything, I mean, except for some very subtle changes, everything looks the same so far. I wonder at what point does the extra content get unlocked? I actually have no idea. I've been deliberately avoiding reading anything about it or avoiding spoilers or anything. So I guess we'll find out in due time. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't even know who's going to be watching this. If anyone, again, like anyone from the modding community has already seen this 100 times, probably. So we'll see. Well, I'm gonna continue on with it, because it is kind of neat to get that retrospective look at it. The thing that started this thing that occupied the last like 3 years of my life and all my spare time, making these mods, moderating the community. It's been a cool ride. It's been pleasantly, aside from the technical difficulty. Yeah, I'm gonna review the video, see how it turned out. I hope it wasn't too bad. Like, is my webcam image is it still stuttering? Like, it looks okay on my end, but I have a feeling the actual video itself is yeah, because both OBS and YouTube keep throwing up error messages over and over again. I'm probably going to have to adjust some settings or something later. I'll have to figure that out another time. Yeah. So it's so on that note, I'm going to wrap things up.